Hello, my friends. My name is Ryan Freeman, and I'm going to talk about the interview as well as the demonstration video that are two important parts of any teacher's journey into securing a job to teach English at a public school in Taiwan. That is where I am. I'm actually not at the public school, I'm in my apartment. But I work at a public school in Taiwan, and I had to go through the interview and the demonstration video. And recently, some people that I've helped connect with a recruiting agency known as Premier International. By the way, I will put their email down below if you are looking for someone to connect you with a public school job in Taiwan. And I recommend teaching at a public school because, you know, you get regular working hours, you don't have that pressure from the private school to make profit. There's a lot of benefits to working at a public school. Anyways, I will put their email down below. Make sure that you tell them Ryan sent you if you email them, by the way. And I will be greatly appreciative. By the way, okay, so you go through this paperwork process, you contact the recruiter, and eventually you come to the step where you have to do an online interview as well as a demonstration video. So first, let's talk about the interview. The interview, they are going to most likely want to have a video interview, so you will need a webcam. Now, webcams are generally come in almost every PC, or you could probably use your cell phone as well. I'm the type of person, I like to have a decent webcam. You know, if I'm gonna make a first impression, the quality of my webcam is part of that impression. So I had not a very expensive one, but at least one that had high reviews that I got off of Amazon. And here's the thing. You're going to teach English. How you sound is kind of important. So you don't have to go to the lengths that I did, but I hooked up a very nice microphone through USB to my computer that had a much better sound than my webcam. I'm not saying you have to do that. I think I'm probably one of the only ones who did it. I just like to make sure that I do the best job that I possibly can. So what I'm trying to say is just put a little thought, maybe a little money if you really are planning to teach in Taiwan. Maybe just get a decent webcam and make sure that you test the audio so that you sound clear, so that you look good and that you sound good. And then also, test the lighting. Every time I set up a video, I have to make sure that the lighting is okay, that I have enough sunlight, and if I don't have enough sunlight coming in, that I have the light on, and that there's not too many shadows. So just make sure, and also the framing, you don't want the camera to be looking too far up, too far down, just some basic photography choices, video choices, so that you look and sound as good as possible. I'm not saying that most people do that, or that they care too much about that. But in my opinion, every little detail that you do to make the best impression, I think will go a long ways in your favor. So let's talk about the interview. My interview with Premier, I think it lasted about, there were two portions. The first portion is where I talked to the recruiter for about, I would say about 10-15 minutes, and we just sort of casually chatted, and it was friendly from the get-go. I was nervous that he was going to be very pointed. I've had some tense interviews, and I've had some very casual interviews. I was just worried that I was prepared for anything, is what I'm trying to say. And it was really friendly from the get-go. I felt like he was on my team right away, and he was trying his best to help me succeed in the interview. So that was fantastic. It's just like if you go on a date and the person wants you to do well on the date and is very open and laughing at your jokes, then you tend to open up more. And if a person's cold and sharp and judging everything you say, then you close up more. So what I would say is try to be friendly, try to be open, try to make a connection with that person. See if you can make them laugh. These interviewers, I know them now. I work in the same office with several people who do these interviews, and they're awesome people. I would not recommend you sign up with Premier International if I didn't know these people myself. I work with them 5 days a week. I'm not side by side doing a lot of stuff with them, but I share office space with them. They're good people. And they want to find good teachers, and they want you to succeed. They've looked at your resume, they've seen some of the details, and they're interested in you. All you have to do is just be yourself, be friendly. So, they're trying to weed out bad apples. Now you say, why would bad apples be applying to teach in Taiwan? Well, let me tell you. I've heard some horror stories of teachers that they've brought over and have just been absolutely abysmal. They have been drunk at work, or they'll say rude things, or they'll touch the students. I mean, in inappropriate ways. I mean, the bar is low, is what I'm trying to say. The bar is low. Just be a good person, friendly as well. I would say the number one ingredient to your success at teaching English at least the middle school is to be friendly, because they want people that they can work with, and that probably goes for any company. They want people who aren't going to be assholes. They recently had, I'm not going to say his name, but they recently had an American guy interview with them, and then he interviewed with another school. He ended up going to that other school, and then the other school, another district actually, sent Premier text messages of all of the things that this guy was saying, and he was saying some nasty things. Like, he would go in, this isn't necessarily related to the interview, but just to give you an idea of some of the teachers they're trying to avoid. This guy would go into the class, and he would smell his co-teacher's perfume, the local Taiwanese teacher, and he would go, "Oh, what is that smell? Don't ever wear that again. That's disgusting." He would just, he said some racist things. He complained that the school didn't provide an all-meat lunch for him every day because he was on the carnivore diet. And when they tried to say, hey, the director had actually tried to say, hey, you didn't tell us in time, you didn't give us a heads up. And he's like, what kind of director are you? You should be able to solve a problem like that. It's like, who goes to a school and expects them to supply him with an all-meat diet, without giving them heads up or at all? And who tells their co-teacher they smell terrible? So they don't want you showing up drunk and being an asshole, is what I'm trying to say. So be friendly. Be excited. And they will be excited for you if you are. So some of the questions they'll ask, obviously they might have some questions about your resume, so just be prepared to talk about the various schools that you worked at. But they also will ask you, I don't know about all recruiters, but at least I know that Premier, some of the questions that they asked me are, how do you get students to talk that don't want to talk? How do you get students to speak English that don't want to speak English? How do you handle behavior issues? What type of teaching style do you have? Lots of things like that. And I wasn't prepared for those questions, but because I've been a teacher and I've had experience, I was able to answer those questions on the spot. So I would just say, be prepared to talk about your teaching style. I told them I'm someone who likes to have fun. I try to keep students engaged. How to engage students? I try to keep students engaged by having fun. If a student's having fun, then they're paying attention. If they're paying attention, then I have a chance to teach them something. Things like that. So be able to present yourself in the best way possible, but be yourself, please. Because it's okay to joke. I joked a lot, and some of the times I'm like, you know what? Here's the thing. There are always going to be some students in every class that just do not want to study English. They don't want to do anything. I may not be able to reach everyone, but I will try. Just being, truthful, you know. We're not miracle workers. We're just out here trying to do our best as English teachers. All right, so if you have any other questions about the interview, put it down in the comments. And now I'm going to talk about the demonstration video. Another element to getting hired as a public school teacher in Taiwan, at least through the recruiting agency that I went through, is by a demonstration video. So wait, I need to mention one other thing about the interview, because I did say there were two portions. The second portion, they said that and this ties into the demonstration video. They said that going to be recorded, and so they recorded a section of that interview, because what they do, both with the demonstration video and the recorded session part of the interview, is they send that off to the prospective school that they've tried to match you with, and the school will ultimately decide whether or not they hire you. So the recruiting agency is just trying to put together a great package to the school for the school to hire. So whatever you do, it's not just the recruiter and the recruiter's bosses who may be watching you, it's the school themselves. So I don't know who that goes to, if it goes to a director, if it goes to the senior English teachers there, or all of the English teachers there. But, you know, one critical part of your success is, you know, will the local teachers like you or not? Will they like work? Do you seem like someone that they'll likely want to work with? And they're not looking for someone who's necessarily a genius or super handsome or anything like that, although that helps. Are you friendly? Are you nice? You know, Taiwanese are very friendly, nice people, helpful people, and they want, you know, someone who's cool to work with, you know, someone who's part of the team. And the demonstration video, which I don't remember how long it was supposed to be. Sorry, it's hot, I'm sweating, and I'm drinking a beer. I drank a beer before my demonstration video as well, because I like to drink beer. But don't drink beer in class or before class. That's a no-no, as I've been told. So the demonstration video, it's several minutes long. I don't know, it could be 8 minutes long. Don't get hung up on it. I did not write a script out. I watched some of the demonstrate. You can go to YouTube, type in teaching demonstration video Taiwan. You can see a handful of videos, a lot of videos where people are like, you know, it's ridiculous, because it's impossible to try to pretend that you're teaching a class to your camera. It's just impossible to do that, you know. The feeling that you get between you and your class makes it a real moment. It's like trying to do stand-up comedy to a camera rather than to an audience, or trying to perform Shakespeare to your camera instead of a real-life audience. It's impossible. So don't feel bad if it sounds a little awkward. I will show you a little clip in just a second of my demonstration video, but the ones that I saw were like people singing songs or people just introducing themselves. Hello! And what I did was I just filmed myself in front of a bookshelf and a map, and I just, you know, walked in and out, and here's a little clip of me right here. Today we are going to talk about objects. Repeat after me. Object. Excellent job. What are objects? Objects are things that we use. So, Mr. Freeman has brought many different objects. Mr. Freeman's next object is... what is it? Yes, it's a whistle. Let's listen to it. Do you have a whistle? Ask your partner, do you have a whistle? Now ask your partner, do you like whistles? I'll give you an example of an answer. Mr. Freeman likes... I'll tell you what. Why don't you ask Mr. Freeman if he likes whistles? Yes, I like whistles because they make a funny sound, like this. Okay, Let's see, we have time for a last object. No, actually, sorry, we're all out of time. I'm sorry that lesson went by so fast. I hope you guys had a wonderful class, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. So you can see it was pretty awkward, pretty ridiculous. And I thought, well, I don't mind being ridiculous because that's me. I want to show them who I am. And if I end up being a good match with them, that's because they chose me for who I am. I'm a silly guy. So if they want a silly teacher, then choose me. So be yourself, have fun, you know, role play, make it as serious as you want or as playful as you like. So for all of you people, because, you know, hiring season, they're starting to interview people. Contracts will start to be signed, I think, in next month and the month after. You know, they're looking for good teachers. Guys, you know, it sucks that there's a little bit of age discrimination, but, you know, there is they do not actually. This is just how it is. You know, they don't want to hire you if you're really, really old. Now, how old is that? I don't know. But it might not count you out. You got a good personality. You got some charm. You speak clearly. Just go for it, okay? Or maybe even too young. They might be wary of that. You know, Taiwanese are very safe people. They like to play it safe. Now you're asking yourself, well, then how the hell did they hire you, Ryan? I don't know. I snuck in. So anyways, what I'm saying is the interview and the demonstration video, if you just make some good choices, make sure that you show up on time. Remember, there is a time gap, different time zones between wherever you live in Taiwan, presumably. So make sure that you have your webcam and your microphone turned on and tested and the lights right for your interview, and your video, your demonstration video doesn't have to be elaborate, doesn't have to be, just make sure you speak clearly and that you appear friendly. Don't drink in your video like I am doing now. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, write it down below. If you want to sign up with Premiere, click that, go send them an email down below, and make sure you tell them Ryan sent you. They will love it if you do. I'll love it if you do. And I greatly appreciate you watching. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.